before the count for about 3 weeks. And for various reasons, they really couldn't get to a hospital or an emergency room or something like that. And so she called so fearful she couldn't talk straight, to the point where I thought, oh, darling, have you taken something? What's happened here? But by today, apparently, he's looking a little better, and I could hear her fear had subsided. Her life force was stronger. She could connect with me very clearly. When your kidney chi is low, you give up the will to live. Now, a lot of people tell me, no, they've never been there. And I can't help but wonder, really? You've never been there? I think, well, good for you. I don't know how rich their life has been, but I've certainly been there. Where you just go, it's enough already. I'm done. Where's the hook? It wasn't too many months ago I was right there. And it's not the first time I've been there. But during this month, where that kidney chi is so vulnerable, if you're questioning your will to live, I'm going to encourage you, dig your heels in. All things pass. This too will pass. So trying to stay right in your body. Your body is a beautiful thing, and it's giving you an experience that you can't get outside your body. It sounds so silly to say that. It's like everybody knows that, but on some level, we seem to forget it. The kidney chi also connects you with the original impulse of life. Actually, which you had to get into the womb. That was the original impulse of life. And that impulse of life, so in Chinese, when I do someone's Chinese, what you call your 4 pillars, it actually shows what was the impulse of life at conception. And that impulse actually directs a lot of your life. You may have come in as a dragon in the Chinese system, but the impulse could be a rabbit. And then you never quite understood why you weren't this fierce, raging dragon. Well, because the impulse, that moment of conception, is encoded with tremendous information. The kidney system also is connected to the glandular system. So your glands could run amok this season. Do your best. Keep, lots and lots of water. Drink water, drink water. There's a lovely concoction for the mornings. It's called yin yang lemon water. And I really do this a lot of mornings, not every morning. I've given up all religions, including the religion of doing something so faithfully. It doesn't please me. It makes me tired. So I give you full permission to give up all religions, including the one I'm about to give you about yin yang lemon water. But it is a very nice remedy. First thing in the morning, boil some water, get your teacup out, squeeze enough lemon that you could get it down, because you don't want it so bitter that you can't swallow it. So I use maybe about 1/3 of a lemon. I'm a delicate kid. That pleases me. Some of you are more hardy. Yeah, you want the whole lemon in it. Do you, whatever is right for you. Then I take about 1/4 teaspoon of something called, I think it's called Melaleuca honey, which is a honey that is like top-of-the-line honey. It's challenging to get, but your good health food stores would have it. And I just add that. So now I got about 1/2 cup of hot water, some lemon juice, some honey, and then about 1/3 cup of room temperature water. That is the most healing, happy religion you could start off with in the morning. And there it feeds the water. All the systems start going very nicely. And sometimes when you go to a restaurant, order a cup of hot water, just a hot water. And maybe a little lemon, maybe not. They always look at me a bit peculiarly. I suspect they think I'm going to whip a tea bag out of my pocketbook or something. But no, hot water heals, especially in this winter cycle where kidney chi needs all the loving it can get. If you have any questions, now is the time. 321-806-3159. 321-806-3159. If anyone is brave enough to call in right now, I will actually pull an angel message for them. But you have to be brave. Jeff won't bite you. I probably will. But call in 321-806-3159. In the meantime, I'm going to be telling you about, yes, we're in this rat month, excuse me, which ends January 4th. Okay, so you got a ways to go with the rat month, and it is very social. Now, where the two, what we call flying stars are this month is in the direction south and in the direction northwest. The translation for you all is hearts. The physical heart, the actual physical heart for men is rather vulnerable at this cycle. And men meaning head of household, the father figure, the president of the company if it's male, although now oftentimes the president of the company is female, and then it actually applies in that way too. So I'm going to suggest a very simple feng shui cure for those of you who have a sense that you have a heart issue, or a male, your dad, your granddad, your husband, they have a heart issue. You want to move a clock, meaning not a digital clock, a clock with hands, or a little wind chime, into the direction of the south. Now, if the south is a bathroom or a kitchen, it does not need a wind chime or a clock. Those two areas, you sort of leave them alone. You don't want to trigger too much energy around that. You also want to look at, and some of you who are listening, you'll know I'm talking to you because there's been a heart issue or I wouldn't be bringing it up. So pay attention also, where is the headboard of the bed that the person is sleeping in? I don't care where the feet are pointing. Where's your head? Where's the crown of your head? And if that's pointing due south, not southwest, not southeast, south, think about getting what we call a cure or an enhancement, and it's moving metal. So that's why a clock or a small wind chime may be tied on to the little drawer of the night table or the leg of something near you or onto the headboard. And speaking of headboards, you do better off with a headboard than without. It kind of protects the energy. I know in a lot of foreign cultures, they don't use a headboard, but our culture, it's not only it's acceptable, but it does kind of couch that energy at night for you. So I want to keep everybody nice and healthy during this interesting rat month. The other thing about the rat energy and this whole, the South has to do with illumination. It's what is called the Buddha energy. Now, for those of you that, you run for the hills if you hear the word Buddha means a messenger. It's not referring to a cult or a sect, which you have to be fearful of, because you don't want to be fearful to begin with this month, because you want your kidney chi to be very strong. But the Buddha energy has to do with enlightenment. And enlightenment is yours now. There's nothing to get. You can't get anything. There's nowhere to go. There is no guru. There is no priest. There is no overlord who is going to enlighten you or tap you on the head and tell you, oh, yes, you are so. You've always been so. You were born enlightened. What's happened is the awareness of the enlightenment has been eclipsed. This month, you can drop everything that has been shrouding your understanding of this enlightenment, because we call it the 5-star, which is change. It's humongous change. So it's kind of like the Wizard of Oz, where all of a sudden Mr. Scarecrow knows that the square root of something he's got it. Well, that's what this month is like within your own heart. And there should be breaking open of the heart this month. It shouldn't be heartbreaking. It should be a breaking open of. There's a big difference. If you want to stay in a puddle of being heartbroken, normally it has to do with old tapes you're playing, old conditioning. Something happened at 2. Most of our stuff actually happened at 2. And by 6, it's all said and done. When can you put that down? When can you open your heart to that mother or father that maybe they weren't the best? Maybe they didn't have any tools to be the best. And if you're now 60 and carrying the heartbreak, I understand the heartbreak. I honor the heartbreak. I recognize it as a wound. But at any given moment, that enlightenment of, okay, that wound played out on the pure consciousness of me, but it's not me. And then you become free of it. And then there's this illuminated golden heart. So I think a lot of heartbreak actually comes up at this season, whether it be Hanukkah or whether it be Christmas or any other sacred passageway at this time. I'm kind of understanding more and more. Let your heart ache come up. Love it and let it go. Because if not now, when are you going to live you? When is your heart going to be so golden that you are the shining one? When does that happen? You cannot become the shining one if your heart is eclipsed with sorrow. And right before the show started, Jeff and I were speaking. Everybody's got their stuff. This is a planet of healing the emotional body. So if people are thinking they tiptoed through it with nothing, I'd be very surprised and wondering, really? So if we've all had our fair share and given in proportion to what we could handle, there's no way you could handle what I was given to handle, and there's no way I could handle what you were given to handle. Our nervous system, our central nervous system, is encoded in a certain way that I can only do me, and you can only do you. You know, I'll make up a scenario. Let's suppose at 2 years old, actually, it's not making it up. It's actually true. At about 2.5 years old, I had an injury and sustained a fall, and my face was put in a face cast for many, many months. And all I could actually eat, and this was on doctor's orders, Jell-O and ice cream. It's surprising that I actually didn't die then of a sugar insulin reaction. So that was really, I was about to say, my example would be, what if you were given lollipops from the time you were 2 years old? In a sense, that was my lollipop. I survived it. It took a long, long, long time, probably until this morning, to really understand the danger of sugar and the need to drop it. Just drop it as best you can. So all of our wounding, it came for a reason. It wasn't there to kill me. Nothing's going to kill you except your thinking that makes it so. And you know, our parents did the best they could with the light they had at the time. as I look at my job that I did with my son, I did